Hey everybody, Douglas Blair Roberts here, Super for 100, the brown skin human, and of course, yeah, brown skin human coming at you with another video series review. This is the intro to my various Saturday morning prime time American-based cartoons, both children, preteen, teenage, and quote unquote adult. This intro will be for two parts. One, a short narration, and the second part, a full length long webcam where I explain more about the cartoon I'm quote unquote reviewing. So, with that being said, let's get this video started right now. This is also a rant. Some of these cartoons will be rants, so yeah, let's get started right now. Let me show you who I am and what I'm here for. Here for. Hey, trying to reach inside of me, trying to take my energy. Let me show you just what I'm made of. Simple curiosity, trying to signify to me. Let me show you just what I'm made of now. Hey everybody, it's time for season 2 of my much larger review of the 1993 Double Dragon cartoon. This is the second season. To tell you the truth, during this show's initial run, I never ever got the chance to really watch much of season 2. I first discovered season 2. I rediscovered season 2 in
2013 or 15 where I finally finished the entire series, and I must say, while season one is more exciting, season two is bigger, badder, and better than season one. The only problem I have with season two, and this is what a lot of people have, this is where a lot of people consider the Double Dragon, but people who did like the show consider the show to have jumped the shark. And one of the biggest problems I have with this season was um they they moved the focus away from the Shadow War from the Dragon Warriors and Dragon Warriors in favor Dragon Warriors and Marion, especially Marion, a character from the video games, in favor of these new in favor of these annoying new characters. There's an annoying kid who likes to play video games and is archaeologist's dad. Then there's another episode involving what was that guy's name? Oh yeah, there's another episode involved. There's throughout this series. There's a lion mutant dragon warrior named Dodge. They focus more on him than they do the Dragon Warriors and Marion, especially Marion, a character from the video games, the people we want to see. That was the only flaw. However, why this season is bigger, the Dragon Brothers, Billy and Lee, get bigger and badder and better Shogun Kabuki style armor this season, especially the final piece of armor they get at the end of the series. This series has way better animation quality than the season one. This looks not like all the things I said in this show reminds me of in season one, but this show looks just like this. The animation is on par with the Disney animated films at that time. The whole thing looks like the Disney Channel with the Disney animated Aladdin movies. That's what this season looks like. Next, the characters. Billy. Next, yeah, then the plot is changed. This is another reason a lot of people say the show jumped the shark. The show went from a martial arts crime, street fighting, crime drama with issues tackling gang violence and drugs on the bad streets of Metro City, mixed with a lot of mysticism, chi, and fantasy. This season has a sci-fi fantasy mutant style plot with dueling dragons fighting each other in the season finale. More emphasis on magical powers and artifacts, and more like I said, more screen time for mutants. The show, so not only was it Aladdin, the show basically became X-Men. In the season two, and Evi Rad, who helped work on the '90s Marvel series, is a producer in this series, so that could be one of the factors. So I like all of the episodes, with my best episodes being episode 7. For some reason, during this show's initial run, episode 7, RPM, this is another drug-based episode, except this drug-based episode was much more action-oriented, in my opinion, much cooler, where the characters where the Shadow Dragons are making a new type of drug called RPM, which which makes people strong, hyperactive, but it also makes them crazy or angry or more violent and want to kill each other, want to kill each other. This episode is much more action oriented. For some odd reason, this drug episode was aired as the season finale. During its initial run, it was aired as episode 13, even though it's the 7th episode. And my next favorite and best episodes are episodes 10, favorite and best are episodes 10 through 12, where the Lee brothers, not only do they fight the Shadow Dragons, the Shadow Master and the Shadow Dragons this season and his Shadow Warriors, but they also deal with a new threat in the Shadow Khan, an ancient mummified sorcerer style of villain, villain, and the episodes 10 through 12 feature episodes 10 and 11 feature the Dragon Masters fighting him and brutally defeating him by burying him under rubble. That's what season 2 episodes 10 and 11. And the final episode features this big gigantic dragon battle between the heroic dragon summoned by the Lee brothers, and evil dragon summoned by the Shadow Master in this climactic final episode of the series. The good dragon prevails, and the Lee brothers blast the Shadow Master away with their combined swords, and the series ends on a happy note. Awesome show. Only problem I have with this series is that this was the final episode, and a bunch of things never were resolved. Willie and Bobo were never free from the mirror, free from the wall. Number 2, they never found John Lee, their father, who makes a cameo in season 1, episode 1. They also never freed their mother from the abyss. And yeah. I guess the only problem I have with a lot of these awesome 90s cartoons, they didn't have legitimate conclusions. This is where the Street Fighter cartoon, I think this cartoon, Double Dragon, and the Mortal Kombat one were way better than the Street Fighter one. But one thing the Street Fighter had was it lasted one more season than Mortal Kombat did, and this show, that the Street Fighter finally had a legitimate ending where, for the most part, everything was resolved. Here, this series, these two shows didn't do that. Like I said, I like this show so much that I'm currently brainstorming and thinking about brainstorming and producing a comic and video and comic book and cartoon novel about what happened after the events of this episode. Like I said in season 1, one of my all-time wishes was for him to come back and finish this show. Then when you're finished with this, reboot Double Dragon the way it was supposed to be. But yeah, this has been my review of Double Dragon, the Double Dragon cartoon, one of the greatest cartoons of all time. Not just the greatest video game cartoon, but one of the greatest cartoons of all time. When I think the 90s, this is one of the first shows that comes to mind. Love it. Like I said, love this cartoon. Used to rant all the time when I was a kid. When I was a quote unquote kid, and now I have all the episodes here as an adult, and finally they got a big DVD release where I saw huge modern day high definition quality of episodes 1 and 2. You definitely will have to look and purchase that one day.
Twins.
So if you don't want to hear the rest, this has been my review of Double Dragon. If you don't want to hear the rest of the music, turn the video off right now.